Hi friends! It's time for another Ugly Thrift Flip. And this one I'm really excited about. Dun da da da! Isn't it awesome? My friend actually found this one for me, and it's so amazingly tragic that I can't wait to work on it. It looks like some kind of puzzle, but it's like varnished together with a really thick varnish. Like there's globs of it. There's not as much on the back, but they did make kind of a mess. So the first thing I'm going to do is sand this puppy down. Well, this pony down. And I'm going to put another piece of paper under it because this is going to get messy. As I'm starting to sand, I see these areas where the varnish looks lighter and cloudier than other spots. And at first I wasn't sure what these were. However, after some careful scientific investigation, I figured out that this was basically like loose areas of the varnish. I could probably paint over these and it would be fine, but since I can't leave well enough alone, I spent a couple of hours scraping and sanding and scraping and sanding. Was it entirely necessary? Absolutely not, but it was extremely satisfying. When it was all done, I cleaned up the mess and wiped the whole thing down. Obviously, I couldn't get the varnish out of all of the cracks, but I don't really care about that. And I was kind of worried that when I sanded the varnish off, the whole thing would just fall apart. But I'm trying pretty hard to get any of the pieces to move, and they aren't budging. You know what time it is next. Gesso! And I got this new big daddy jug of gesso that I can dip right in. No more having to poop it out of this little bottle into a container. Now what am I going to turn this into? The amount of ideas that I went through for this guy. So obviously this is a unicorn. So I started with ideas for unicorns. But he has a beard. So this is a boy unicorn. Then I saw this picture and had the best idea. I am super excited for her and obsessed with the Barbie movie that's coming out. As everyone should be. And this jean jacket reminded me of Ken. So this is a Ken unicorn. A unicorn. Kenicorn. We'll get back to this guy in a second, but first I want to paint the back. I'm not going to do two different sides like I did with my last Ugly Thrift Flip. So I'm just going to go with plain amazing Barbie pink for the back and sides and all the tiny little crevices and edges. One trick that I've discovered to get more coverage and less layers is to paint each layer in a different direction. Now that that's done, let's get back to the front. I'm going to use paint markers for this so that I can have more control over the smaller areas and around the edges. I took a lot of inspiration from promo photos and trailers for the new movie. Like here, we have a cutoff jean jacket from this look. And here are the trunks that Ken wears to the beach. For the mane and tail, obviously Ken doesn't have beautiful flowing locks, so I tried to make them look like old Barbie coloring books. I used to love coloring Barbie's hair in when I was little. Something about all of the different strands that they would outline and coloring it all in different shades of yellow made 5-year-old me feel like I was a world-class artist. Obviously, Ken doesn't have a goatee, but I really didn't feel like performing major surgery on him after the extreme exfoliation, so the goatee stays. While I thought it would be really funny to give Kennicorn a six-pack and pecs like Ken in the movie, I wanted it to be super clear what the theme is. So he's gonna get a shirt with his initial on the front. Now to tidy everything up with a second coat. Then I'm going to go back in and add some details. Some shadows and outlines. Filling in his initial. And outlining this horseshoe necklace, which Ken actually does wear in the movie, and that just turned out to be a super lucky coincidence. Then, just to really beat you over the head with this theme, I'm gonna add his name to his underwear. And now he's done. I am so in love with him. Like, I originally went with the idea because I just thought it was really funny, but he legitimately came out so cute. And I love that he looks so bright and cartoony, like he really belongs in Barbieland. What do you think? I'm off to see the new Barbie movie about 500 times, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.